Gimme.
Welcome back to another episode of the We Love Gaming podcast, episode 27. And today is a good day. Not so great because I still don't got nothing yet, but it's not too bad because my boys, one of my boys lucked up. But anyways, what do you guys been getting into this week?
So for me, I was watching my wife play Animal Crossing because there's a Thanksgiving update that recently came out.
Nice.
So you get to collect recipes, make food for your village. So
That's
in the
fun,
Thanksgiving
man.
spirit. So it's pretty cool to watch. She was watching some streamers and she was getting back into it. So I was just, casually watching her over, the Thanksgiving break. And I've been mentioning this for a couple weeks now, but Shadowlands finally released this week. So I got a day to grind out to max level. Try the new.
You did it in a day, man?
Yeah.
Wow, it's that easy, huh?
It takes like 8 hours tops.
Wow,
Like casually.
Yeah,
Nah, he's that
that's
dedicated,
nothing,
man.
It's like 8 hours, very casual. And I'm not going to get into it too much today, but it's very on rails nowadays. So
you just
the zones,
follow the tracks, huh?
you have to. There's no,
Yeah.
let me skip and you have to
wow.
go
You
in
have to do
order.
each quest line.
You have to go in each quest line before there's a freedom of, I don't like how this zone looks. Let me level in this place. But you have to kind of go in the order.
Follow. Is it? I would like that because it's a story you're following, right? Actually, I think I would really appreciate that.
Okay.
Is it cool, man, or what?
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I really like the zones.
Does that quest line get you to the end or not quite?
It gets you to the end.
Wow.
So it gets you to the end, and then you get to pick like your covenant because each zone is like a covenant. So you get to experience each zone. You get to see what the covenant offers. Essentially, to me, it was like, hey, like each zone is like it's trying to sell you like pick me, and then when you get to the end, you're like, all right, who do I want to be my covenant? Who do I want to align with?
Were you happy with your choice?
I picked on like min maxing,
Of
but
course.
I am actually happy now that I'm like staying in my area. It went from being I wasn't interested in that one to actually like it the most.
Okay.
Maybe
Nice.
it's because it's the best. I don't know, but I personally like it the
okay.
most after leveling in each place. I like the zone, the aesthetics the best. So yeah, I've been playing
Is
that.
there one takeaway, like that one thing that just stuck in your mind after playing it that you're like, one thing? Is there that, or was it just very generic and straightforward wow to you? Like you walked away going, that was actually cool. Something that happened or something you did.
I would say so far the dungeons are really cool.
Okay.
So there's 8 dungeons, and I've been doing the mythic difficulty because mythic 0 is the hardest thing. So it's really fun doing the mythic dungeons when you're like super undergeared, and you have to follow the mechanics to
You're
the
actually sweating
T.
a bit, huh? Yeah.
It's really fun.
Nice. Okay. All right. Well, this week for me, I was playing the wonderful game of camping out at GameStop.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I actually didn't have a lot of time to play games this week because I was camping out at GameStop. Yeah, I was one of those losers out front,
No life.
but a no lifer. But I was first in line. So
Okay.
I was first in line at the GameStop, and I put in the hours. I put in the work. The hardest part of it all was the cold weather, man, and like the wind. It would just like pierce through whatever you were wearing.
Yeah.
So the first night was really rough, really, really rough. But I got relieved by my wife for a little while there. And so I went home, visited with the family for Thanksgiving. And then I got some more comfortable, warm clothing. And then the second night I went back, man, I was like Iron Man. Like nothing penetrated. I was on the verge of sweating, dude. Like I had so much gear on.
Damn.
And so that night was much, much more comfortable.
Okay.
Like, yeah, there was a little bit of a rough to it, because you're still outside, and you're laying down on a mat and not your bed. But much more manageable, like not a problem at all. So an easy line for the second night. And then heartbreak, dude. Halfway heartbreak. Every GameStop was supposed to get 2, right? Their ad says
PS5s?
all.
That's
It
what
literally
they- yeah, that's
says
what they said.
all 2 minimum PS5s and 2 minimum Xbox Series X's, right? Well, I was first in line, and I wasn't going to camp out if I wasn't first in line. Like, I wasn't going to risk being third. Not even third. I wouldn't risk it, especially not fourth or more. And sure enough, I got to the front of the line. The guy came out. They don't have their PS5s yet.
Man.
They were waiting for their PS5 shipment still. My store in particular.
Man.
So they jot our names down, jot our numbers down, tell us to give us a call when they come in, and a very generous hour window
Oh,
to come pick
yeah.
up
How long
my
to pick it up?
PS5.
So you got to do the dash then.
They gave me a very generous hour.
Did they tell you
to do the
when they're gonna
race.
call you?
Nope, they didn't tell me when they're gonna call me, and they tell me when we do. I got an hour window to come pick it up.
So they gave you no like ballpark, like in a week,
No
in a
ballpark.
day. But they did tell you have 1 hour to respond.
But I have 1 hour to respond to their.
Wow, that's generous.
That's so generous, huh? GameStop's such a wonderful company, man.
So how many hours did you camp out to get this experience? Empty-handed.
I camped out about 33 hours, a little over 30 hours.
So over 30 hours.
Yeah, probably like 32 hours. Yeah,
Damn.
Dang.
from like 10:30 Wednesday night to 7 a.m. Friday morning.
And do you remember how many people were like in the line behind you that were going to be like SOL?
Yeah, so there was a lot.
Yeah.
Dude, there was a lot of folks, man. And I'm like, what is wrong with these people? Like, they all see the ad like me. It says a minimum of 2. And there were a lot.
Well, I
Like-
think they're trying to hope that it's more than 2.
Yeah, they're trying to hope there's more than 2, but why would you? Because there were some out there pretty darn early. Not as long as me, but like probably like 24 hours at least, 20 hours. Not 30 hours, but, still for a while. And in the cold, too. All that night in the cold. And these guys weren't prepared like me. Like, I had already experienced it the first night. The second night, these guys were coming. Like, the very first night when I showed up and got in line, immediately someone else joined the line.
Damn.
Like, it was instantaneous. And I figured that would happen.
They was like, hey, let's powwow.
Yeah, like the moment the line starts, people just like, Gali was telling me earlier, the moment the line starts, people join them. They don't even know why, they join them.
They'd be like, hey, what's this line for? As they're standing in it.
Yeah, man. And there were so many lookers, man. I swear it was like we were a Christmas light show. Like people would drive by and just constantly staring you down, like as you're
Yeah.
driving.
Damn.
Like what's
The
this?
clueless are trying to figure out why.
What's going on? What's happening here? This is crazy.
Damn.
And there were a lot of folks, man, in line, a lot of folks. And I remember when that store manager came up and he's like, oh my gosh, he's like, well, there's going to be a lot of disappointed people today. He's like, because they only have the 2,
Damn.
only guaranteed the 2 in our truck. And I was like, dang, man.
Damn.
So, yeah, there was a couple that came like pretty shortly after us, a few hours after we started.
Yeah.
And they were there with us the long haul.
Mm.
And they were 4th in line. And
So they were able to get something. Oh, they
just
left.
left.
So they got absolutely nothing
They
left.
didn't, they
Empty-handed.
took nothing from Black Friday.
So
They left.
So they didn't get Thanksgiving. They didn't get PS5. They didn't get an Xbox.
Nothing.
Did they
dude.
even get a Atari? A
They
VCS?
didn't get a VCS.
They didn't get the
a
VCS.
Switch.
Did they get a BL6?
Did they get a BL6?
They didn't get the.
They probably went to the store to
They
get
didn't
a
get the
BL6.
BL6.
They didn't even get a
Damn,
T-shirt, man.
Damn.
They got nothing.
Like
They
I was
left
here.
angry.
I was here Thanksgiving 2020.
I
No
was
shirts
there
and nothing.
Thanksgiving
I survived the
2020.
Kohls?
Yeah, I just survived.
Oh,
I
man.
survived the PS5 Black Friday launch 2020.
Damn,
Yeah,
man.
so that was basically my experience. So here I sit, waiting for my phone call to go down and get my PS5. I know, right? I'm all on edge, man.
Yeah, I hope you get it, man.
Every little ring sound I hear sends me off.
Shit.
But that's been my experience this week, man. What about you, Gali?
Mine was pretty cool. Because of Thanksgiving, I was able to get like a pretty solid Wednesday evening, to
Of
start
gaming?
playing. Yeah. So, of course, Destiny 2 is like I would say like the biggest thing on the Xbox right now. As far as like newish,
Right.
latest gen,
In my
whatever.
opinion, it's sort of like exclusive.
Yeah. As far as like an exclusive,
Mhm.
well, not even exclusive, but
I just feel like it's theirs because they got all the new content for free, and that's like
Right.
exclusive to Xbox.
right, which is why I'm
Right.
playing it so hard or whatever. But yeah. So I was on a rush, to try to figure out more about my stasis powers, and then I wanted to get an exotic that I really like the look of it. It's called the Lamont. It's
Okay.
the sword. It's an exotic sword.
It's the quest they just gave out, right?
Yeah, Banshee 44
Yeah.
has the quest for you. So you go to him, and then he sends you on this lineup of quests. It's like an 11
Did you
chain,
end up
an
getting
11
it?
chain quest. Yeah,
Okay, you have to
There's-
walk me through that, man,
there's
because
a
I want that
lot.
one too.
yeah. There's a lot of work that you have to do as far as like it's really like tedious, time consuming stuff. Like one of the steps is you have to finish 100% Vex, but I think it's like 100 Vex. Like,
It's a lot of
Mm.
killing.
so you
Huh?
literally have to use the finish stick
finish
to
stick,
finish
I
them
see.
off.
Oh,
So
the finishing
you're
move.
just like pecking them down, wait till you see the orb, run up on them, hit the
Gotcha.
finish stick on it, and you have to do that like quite a
Oh,
few
it's
times
tedious,
in order
man.
to make
Was
that
there
thing
anything
full.
that you couldn't do on your own though?
No, actually, surprisingly, no. I was able to complete some of uh, the end steps
Bosses and
like
stuff?
by myself, and then the
Okay.
very last one where you're having to rescue Clovis. There's like an onslaught of guys in the room. So you've got those angel mechs, you know,
Right.
those angel
Yeah,
minotaurs and
right.
the regular minotaurs and everything else.
Those dregs
But-
or whatever I think they call them.
Yeah, but dude, man, that sword is wicked. Like it's got
Dude,
this.
what does it do, man?
So it's got this ability where you know how if you hold the left trigger, you can put your sword up
Right.
to give you like an aura shield to
Right.
block all the
Right.
bullets. So that blocks stuff, but its main purpose is to rev your sword up. So your sword has a chainsaw. It's got a bunch of teeth on the back side, on the front
Okay.
side of the sword. So when you pull up the block, it revs up the sword. So you see it like you see like the teeth moving. And then when you go to cut, you cut a little bit faster. So it's like ching, 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 ching. But you're like tearing up whatever you're cutting.
That's
So,
cool, man.
And the only caveat to it is that it uses a lot more of your ammo in store.
Oh, it doesn't
but-
use one per slice.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's not
man.
the same ammo
That
equivalency.
sucks.
It uses a little bit more, but it does massive damage to it. And I heard it was a really good weapon for the raid, the stone crypt
Okay.
raid.
I know we need to
so-
get that raid going one of these nights, man.
Yeah, man, I gotta catch you guys on because I
Yeah.
be on it, but
No, I
you
need
know,
to
I be
get
needing
Mark
back
people
on
hasn't
it.
got on it yet, man.
I haven't played in.
So
a
basically,
month.
I did play a little bit of that earlier this week before I started camping out.
Right.
And I was getting so fed up because I couldn't beat that. I couldn't beat the bosses in the campaign, and so I was like, "Screw
You
it."
came across some more bosses that you
Yeah,
couldn't
like
get?
the very last one too. The chick, the very
Okay.
last one.
Yeah, she was a bit rough.
Like I was totally underlighted for it. You know, like I was like kind of like trucking through it.
You're under light the entire
I know,
campaign.
but
dude.
I was
It's
like, I know, I was probably pretty major underlighted.
you're
for
under
this
light
one.
on the world. Like
Yeah,
there's so many
exactly.
bosses that are like 12:30, like 12:60.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like,
So
what
I
the
was
hell?
like, yeah, this is impossible. So I just wasn't trying to fight there for 3 hours. I figured like if I tried this enough, I probably could beat her. She wasn't as hard as the last bosses that we had done together,
Just tricky.
but just a nuisance. And I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna do this. You know, I went back out into the world and I just started farming public events for gear,
Okay.
and I boosted myself all the way to the 1200 point.
Okay,
And
nice.
then I went and she was a smoke easy. Smoke easy. Once I was max light, she was a smoke easy.
Yeah,
you know,
once you were
so-
the soft cap.
Yeah, once at the soft cap, she was a soft light. Just super easy kill. And so I was happy about that, but I haven't gone back and only played since I've done that.
Okay.
I hit that soft cap and I kind of stopped playing.
Yeah, that
So-
soft cap is a little rough, you know, because everything you get, just regular drops, are just going to be 1200. So
Yeah.
then you're kind of like at the stealth. So then you have to start looking at
nightfalls,
all of those
right,
golden little
right.
orbs over the planets, you know.
weeklies.
So I'm like, okay, I've got to do 8 Vanguard quests. I've got to do 8 strike bounties. I've got to do 8 bounties from Banshee. I've got to do
What is the
8
cap? What's
bounties
the
at
hard
Varix.
cap?
Huh?
What's the hard cap?
So the max light you can get,
On a
I
piece
think,
of
is
gear.
like 12.
50?
They say it's 1360 on some gear, but
I've seen somewhere say 1410.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I know that like the majority of the light is supposed to be like around 1260 or
But
something
like
like that
what
that you can get
what
into
will
for
the
the raid.
gear in the raid fall at?
I think that stuff is gearing more towards 12, like up to 1260.
Okay, so that sounds like that's the hard cap then, around 1250,
Yeah, it's
1260.
like you would get to 1260, and then you would have your additional Finks, that lantern or whatever, that
Your relic
like,
or whatnot? Yeah.
that artifact
Yeah.
that would put you up. I think the max
10
is
points?
14.
14
light.
light on that
Yeah.
thing. Okay.
Is what it gives you a boost on. So it's a heck of a journey. But I really like the Lamont. I've still been using Sweet Business like it's my
You
best
can
friend.
only use one or the other though.
Right. So I have found a couple of other auto rifles that I really like. I just really like auto rifles. So
Okay.
like the gnawing hunger or something like that that you
Okay.
could get for the Halloween thing.
Oh, I never
Actually,
got
no, that wasn't a
Yeah.
Halloween thing. It's just the gnawing hunger or something like
It's
that.
just
But
a
it's
gun in the world.
a void auto rifle. I think it comes probably in like arc and fire or whatever, but it's a really good auto
Oh, so
rifle. But it's a secondary,
It's secondary, yeah, because only the secondary can have a burn on it.
right? Yeah, a element. So
That's just a
but there's, like, a
legendary,
couple
right?
other
That's
ones.
not an exotic.
Yeah, no, it's just a legendary.
Okay, I have that weapon. That's a
Yeah.
good one.
Yeah, and what I
So-
learned too is the old gear, like my old favorites,
It's
like
capped.
Endless Midnight, it just caps at 1060.
Yeah.
Literally 10 light above your starting light level.
I tried to grab an origin story, and then I was
Yeah,
like,
'cause that was the
I'll
old
juice it
fun
up.
one, the
and
origin
then
story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it told me that it was only going to get half of the light that I was going to
Damn.
infuse into it. So I was
Because
like,
I
oh,
was
no.
that one day I was talking with you. Remember?
Yeah, that
I
you
was like,
infused
dude,
and you
what
didn't
the
get
heck,
nothing.
man? I just infused into my gun and it just gave me 10 light points. And you're like, I don't know, man. Whenever I infuse, it goes max amount. I was like, dang, what happened?
But I didn't
so that's
realize
what I
that.
learned. That if it's an old year one gun, then you can't
That
infuse it,
sucks.
man, up to the max light.
So it's useless essentially.
Which exotic armor piece are you using?
See, so that's like a toss up. Because I'm constantly trying to get the pinnacle gear and the powerful gear. I'm always just putting on like the next piece of BS because I don't want to waste all my modules.
Right.
My upgrade modules. So, the one that I had just recently visited Zur last week, and I got like
we got a new Zur
a
today,
pair
huh?
of gloves. Yeah.
We gotta
So
find him.
I got a pair of gloves that was exotic. I can't even remember the name, but the chest piece that I was rocking because my name is Sovereign.
You want the sovereign set?
I've been looking for the Sovereign gear. So I have the Sovereign helmet, I have the Sovereign grips, I have the Sovereign boots, and I have the Sovereign cape or cloak.
In the chest piece.
But the chest piece is the only one that I have never received a Sovereign piece for. I don't even know if it exists or not, but I haven't
it does.
received it yet. So
I think I have it.
Okay, so I just basically have been using the exotic chest piece that seems to fit the
Look.
the generic the default colorways of the
I see.
Sovereign stuff. So it's like a burgundy and a gold. But it's the exotic that gives you 2 dodges. Because I have the dodge where you dodge and then your weapons reload. So I really like using that because then
That's
it'll
cool.
give me another reload, especially with
see.
like Sweet Business where it kind of takes a bit of time to like reload it. You know what I mean? Like I'd be able to do that. So that's what I have been trying to focus on using when I want to get my whole look. But because I'm sitting here trying to chase 1260, you know what I mean? I'm constantly switching out pieces. So
I see.
I'm not really using like an exotic.
Yeah, I put the knucklehead on.
Okay.
Knucklehead radar, just
For the
because that's
radar?
a useful exotic that I know I can use now.
Yeah.
Before like I have everything. I was like, that's the one I can use now. But yeah, you're probably right. I probably would just be swapping out pieces as I got them to try to chase that max light
Yeah.
level, which is a bummer.
I don't even try to.
Because those darn components are so rare, man.
Yeah, I don't even try to upgrade like everything. Like I'll do some of it because it's only glitter, and then the legendary shards, those are kind of like pretty easy to acquire. So I'll like do enough until it gets to the upgrade cores or whatever that is, that small little gold piece, and then I won't do any further. So that will allow me at least to put in some of the mods, and like one of them, a really nice one that I like. I think it's for either your cloak or your arms. But it's basically a mod that if you do a finisher on something, it gives you a melee recharge.
Oh,
So
nice.
like you can, you'll like for the hunters, you can just use your ice daggers or whatever, and then you can finish something off and you'll get another ice dagger and then you can use
Kind of
it.
chain it.
Yeah. So you can kind of,
Little
keep
combo.
replenishing it. Yeah. But
cool.
I have realized that, going further down the stasis quests that the Exo Stranger gives you, they're tedious, but it was kind of interesting how some of the grenades you have access to, like there's a cryostasis grenade. So it's almost like a mini version of the Hunter's super. So it just has like an ice whirlwind or whatever, and it kind of slows them down in like a bubble. Not that great because it takes so long for them to actually freeze. But there's an ability that the hunters get where you can jump up in the air and then you can hold B and do a smash down, and it's like a little ice blast, and it doesn't take any light or anything like that, or any darkness or whatever. But the one that I've found out is like the best is the first grenade that you get that gives you the brick, the ice wall, because you can just throw that into like the middle of a crowd, and then you can just run as soon as it forms, you can just drop down with B, smash it, and it just shatters into like a huge like explosion, and will blow like damn near everything that's in its vicinity away, or like really damage stuff. So that one was a really good ability. I don't know how far in the stasis stuff that you've gone, because you have a hunter, right?
Yeah, I just barely started. I hit 1200. I haven't done anything yet in it.
So yeah, I would definitely at least get that smash, that jump up and smash down, because that paired with the ice wall, which I was like, man, this is kind of dumb because it's just a wall. Like, you can't cause any havoc with it. But when you put that with the smash down, it makes it so it's devastating, and it's a lot better than the cryostasis. There's also a snap grenade, which basically you throw it down and it will ice up the first person that it hits. That's in the vicinity if it hits something, but then it'll pop off and send a tracker to another enemy, and then freeze them. So you get like a twofer with it, but it doesn't put in as much work as the wall does. Right. So that's the one I've been on. But yeah, there's like a lot of quests that the Exo Stranger is giving you, and then there's eventually mods and stuff like that you can come across for that. But I've been having a lot of fun with that. It's been keeping me busy. I think I'm just trying to race to get to that 1260 so that I can just cool it on the game and then play something else. And then if I get a raid or whatever, then I get a raid. But I'm just trying to get as close to that 1260 as I can, and I can do that weekly just by doing all of the Gambit, the Vanguard, and I've actually done almost everything that they have to offer for like the Pinnacle gear and stuff. I think the only thing I have left to do is try to do like a few more rounds of survival in the Crucible, and then I will have done everything that's possible that'll give you a gear, besides like your perdition or whatever, the lost zones that are like masters and stuff that want you to be at like 1260 and 1280 for light levels. So it's kind of crazy. But yeah, so I mean, have you guys heard any of the rumors about Bluepoint like possibly being sought after by Sony?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy news. You know what I mean? Because Bluepoint are the guys who redid Demon Souls. Obviously it isn't from software, but I guess they have. I've never heard of Bluepoint, or I might have played their games.
I only knew them because I know that they redid Shadow of the Colossus as well.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So they were the ones that did that one. Okay, so it looked like their specialty was remaking games.
Right, that's what they do, and they're very good at it. Like the best in the biz, probably.
Yeah. So I heard that one of their hesitations in getting purchased by anybody, if they were to get purchased by somebody, was that they didn't want to remake games anymore. They'll remake a game if they can, but they wanted their own IPs.
Wow.
So I was hearing that.
A great purchase then, man.
Yeah, right. Because I mean, they obviously do great work. We saw how they buffed and shined up the hell out of Demon Souls. So to give them their own IP and to just go wild with it off of bat,
Sony would let them for sure.
Yeah, because I think there was probably, a couple of things in Demon Souls that they would have wanted to switch out or change up, but they didn't want to tamper with the game itself, completely. So they wanted it to still, be
they wanted to add the easy mode.
Had. Yeah,
they decided not to.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's some things they wanted to do, right?
I definitely got they didn't do no easy mode, because that would just defeat the whole purpose of the Souls games.
That's true.
But a lot of people can't get in the game unless there's one.
Yeah. For some reason, I don't know why, I just assumed Bluepoint was already owned by Sony.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why.
Seems that way though.
I don't know why I thought that. Because I know they did release one of the first digital games for the PS3, Blast Factor, and that was an original game. So they did start off making digital original games for Sony originally. And then I think in 2015, one of the Drake Uncharted games.
Yeah, the remaster.
They did the remaster.
Collection.
The collection.
Right, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then they're rumored to make a Metal Gear Solid remake. So it seems like they're knocking those out of the park, But they did start making original games. They made
they started off that way, right?
Yeah. So I can definitely see with the Godly Sovereign's point, they want to make original games because it seems like that's how they got into the business.
Right.
But then they found that maybe they're pigeonholed into making remakes because they were so good. I don't know, but
maybe they couldn't get any I new IP ideas.
Maybe all their pitches were getting. Oh, you know what? Nah. But how about you make this new version. But people are raving about Demon Souls. Like, they're doing great with what they're doing. So I'm kind of in the mode of if you're doing something good, just keep doing what you're doing. So I would say take the offer if you guys have the offer to make the Metal Gear Solid remake, because I'm sure it's going to be amazing. I'm sure you're going to make a lot of fans happy. To play that on the PS5.
And it seems like it would be a tad bit easier, right? If you have like a game that's already fleshed out, built, everything.
Absolutely.
And then
you have
you're
source
just
material.
improving on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
source material,
Especially when you're remaking a really critically
great game. Yeah.
It's like it's a
easy
no-brainer.
lifting. Yeah,
You
heavy lifting there.
you're setting yourself up for success.
Right.
But if you make a new game and it's not hitting like all these other games,
that's a risk.
Yeah.
I do think, like, my opinion on it is, like, seeing their remakes does give us an insight into, like, their work ethic and vision for gaming, because these are like very detailed, like, masterpieces. Like, Demon Souls is a great game, but what everyone's jaw was about was how it looked and how it played and how it felt, and the detail and perfection they put into the game. That's an insight into their philosophy, their gaming philosophy, on how they want to make games. And so that's great news. Like, it's like a Naughty Dog level type of, compulsive, obsessive compulsiveness, to have every little detail they can in their game. So I would really be interested to see what kind of games they made. If they made some new IPs, like, I bet you they'd be great. Maybe not great gameplay, but I bet you they would look and feel and be like really good looking games, kind of like Naughty Dog games are. And that's half the battle. Yeah. Is how committed are you to detail? And these guys seem like they are. And so that'd be great. So it was Silent Hill and Metal Gear Solid, right? They're rumored to be remaking those two games. I'm definitely not a Silent Hill kind of guy, but
but could you imagine the horror level on it with like these new
with
graphics
the lighting and the ray tracing, dude.
Especially you're talking about like OG Silent Hill stuff,
OG
like,
Silent Hill.
Dude, I think that they would essentially, like, it would be a whole new game, just like how Demon Souls kind of feels like, or looks like a whole new game.
That's
like,
a good one to pick, for
sure.
a new experience.
Yeah, because I feel like there's so much more you could do in that game.
But
I
was like Mark too. Like, I felt like it was like a PlayStation studio already, because it seems like all they remake is like
PlayStation games.
Yeah.
Like Shadow of the Colossus was a PlayStation 2 exclusive, right? Demon Souls is PlayStation exclusive. Metal Gear Solid was always a PlayStation exclusive type game.
Maybe that's only the contracts that they're getting at the moment. Like, maybe there's just nothing
deals.
else coming on the table. Like if I'm Sony, right, then I know that you do great work. I'm just gonna keep putting shit on your plate.
I think that's what it is too. Like,
I got
seen
stuff for you.
Yeah, what they've done, right, and they just keep giving them work, because Nathan Drake collection. It's all Sony games they keep making.
Yeah, right. So it's just like
they do have a marriage already. They should just solidify it. They seem to like working for Sony. They keep taking their offers.
Yeah, it just seems like it would just make more of like a solid, machine. Like, they have a lot of stuff, but like, could you just imagine like maybe having Bluepoint work on like Elden Ring or something like that?
That'd be
like
awesome.
just to help a little bit with it. I mean, we don't know exactly what it looks like. Yeah, but we've seen the work that they have done already to one of From Software's games. So like throwing them on as an addition would only make it better. You know what I'm saying? But
and maybe by them getting bought out, that could maybe add to their workforce in some way. Like they could leverage some of Sony's developers or something, and they could have the freedom to make their own game. So maybe
once
it
they
might
get
be
bought out, they will have more freedom. To make their own game. They don't have to worry about certain things. They'll have a money flow. They'll have more things to help them do that.
Yeah.
So interesting concept.
Very interesting.
At Sony. I hope they do. Actually, I hope they do.
Yeah, I hope they do too. Because we keep hearing Microsoft buying stuff. Sony, we want you to buy stuff too.
Yeah, I hope they do. I hope they do. Yeah.
You said we keep hearing Microsoft buying stuff?
They're on the rumors of buying more studios.
Because they're trying to gobble things up. With Bethesda and so forth. Like they've been making some really good purchases.
Okay.
That should make Sony worried. Because just imagine if Sony would have bought Bethesda. Oh my. Like, that would have changed. I think
that would have been the nail in the coffin. Creation engine.
To me, that would have been the nail in the coffin. I would have just been like, maybe I don't even need an Xbox at all.
But the word was that Microsoft wasn't done. Like, after they bought Bethesda, for sure. The word on the street was, then they're not done yet.
Yeah, they're still searching.
Yeah, that is a concern. Like, Sony has to do something. Yeah, you can't buy $1 billion studios. But if you already have a great relationship with this studio, that's a great studio to add, you know. And I think they should do what I said, you know, just like make new studio.
Yeah.
Just find some talented guys
Yeah.
and make a new studio rather than buying an existing one already.
Yeah, I don't know.
Something, right, to compete with the studio collection.
This may be a little off topic, but I looked up how much like Star Wars and Marvel costed. Bethesda costed more than.
No, dude.
Like,
it's incredible.
What the? That's just
They upsold
interesting.
the hell out that.
That's interesting
that
to
company.
consider. You know, it's like wow.
That
this
shit
is
was only valued at
this
like
is,
2 point
entertain-
something, right?
Yeah.
This is
So-
entertainment industry money. No, this is even better than the entertainment industry. So
No, my uncle, he used to work for Capitol Records. That was the music company,
Mhm.
and he was pretty high up there. And he would always tell us, because he was into music and he was into movies, and he's like, but you know what? The future isn't in those things; it's in video games. And he would tell us, man, you would not believe the production level of these video games. You know, full on production cast, and you have the full on graphics. You know, all these things are like enormous.
Orchestras and stuff like that.
They're so big. Like they even make like movies. They get movies put to shame. So it's like you see these game studios, man, are like insane. Like the most valuable things on the
Yeah.
planet right now.
yeah,
It's incredible.
Yeah, man. But I know that we haven't been able to get consoles really like in hand, you know, so far. But I've been constantly on the online and whatnot trying to look at people's reactions and responses on YouTube, Twitter, and such, all that. But I've been kind of hearing that there's been some like, you know, issues with consoles, you know. I guess like PlayStation 5's having issues of going to sleep when like on Miles Morales or something like that, you know, like getting put in sleep mode, which is what I do all the time with my PlayStation. I rarely ever turn it off.
Right. Same.
And then, you know, some issues with Xboxes and whatnot. But I mean, like, what have you guys been hearing? Because I know I can't be the only one hearing stuff.
I've been hearing the same issues. I've been hearing there's rest mode issues with the PlayStation 5.
Mm-hmm.
I've been hearing there's external, if you're playing PS4 games off an external hard drive, there can be issues there. I heard when you're setting up your system, if you use, you know, an Ethernet cable, there can be issues there. And random brick rumors. Oh, my PlayStation got bricked, but I don't know. It's hard to see if those are true. To see what exactly caused your brand new system to be bricked, you know, within a week.
Yeah.
But I definitely heard a lot of rest mode and external hard drive issues, as well as display units at stores. I hear those are overheating like crazy.
That's because
they're
Enclosed
put in a
boxes,
cage
yeah.
with no
They're
ventilation.
entirely enclosed. How moronic.
So
dude.
it
Yeah.
hurts. It hurts me when I see something so scarce, something so rare.
Being destroyed like
Yeah,
that.
being-
yeah.
Yes.
Come on, like drill some hole. Like you guys have
How
to be a
dumb can
little
you be,
smarter
right?
than this,
Yeah.
because good luck getting another display unit. You know, I don't.
They're
Like,
that paranoid, right? Like, but you could put little slits in the side. No one can take anything,
yeah,
right? Come on.
as we saw on the Xbox, there's a little security thing, so you could put a security cable. I'm sure the PlayStation has the same thing, so you could hook up a little security cable to it.
Yeah.
You know, secure it in some other way, but don't let it just suffocate in there, because it's not gonna last very long.
How
So
dumb, dude.
So have the only issues you've been hearing is just strictly PS5, or you've been hearing some Xbox Series X issues as well?
I would say the knocks on Xbox that I've been hearing are the PlayStation is outperforming the Xbox.
Okay.
That's kind of the extent of, and also too, maybe my mind doesn't really care about Xbox issues right now,
So yeah, I've been checking for him.
so I haven't been as vigilant. When there's something PS5, I'm like, whoa, it kind of makes me feel a little better. Oh, I don't have one. I don't got to deal with that. So, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I personally haven't seen as much Xbox issues, but maybe just because there's not as many people gaming on Xboxes right now.
Okay.
So I don't know. What about you guys? Have you been hearing?
about you?
Yeah, the only Xbox one that I heard was like people were trying to. It was like the spoof. Oh, look at my Xbox is smoking.
Oh
And
yeah.
people
Yeah.
were just blowing their vape smoke into the system to like make it seem like it was smoking.
Yeah.
So there hasn't really been any like big ones that I've heard for Xbox that are like breaking their system. But yeah, like the thing you mentioned about the performance for sure.
Yeah, I
For
see that all
some
the time.
reason, man, it's
Keeps
like
coming
it's
up, keeps
ridiculous.
coming up.
Like every single comparison that I keep seeing
They're
released
showing that the PlayStation
in some way, the PlayStation is like outperforming in one of the areas. The PlayStation, like whether it be frame rate mode or whatever it is, for some reason, no one can explain it. The PS5 was like outperforming the Xbox, which makes no sense at all.
So have you heard anything about like you know, because there were some of these issues going on with the PlayStations, and they've done like some patches or whatever, like emergency patches that pop up.
Yeah.
But I was hearing that these patches aren't really giving you like information about what they fixed.
They never do. Like when you look at the UOV details on whatever the patch notes, they never just security updates, or they're just like very vague, you know.
Yeah, so it's kind of like what are you hiding?
Yeah.
Or what's going on, you know? Like first of all, why is like one of your main starter games like Spider-Man, like why is that shitting bricks as soon as you go to rest it? Like what's that deal? And then, you know, all this backwards compatible stuff, that seems like something that you would have already worked out those kinks like from the beginning, you know what I mean?
For me,
as many people getting these early copies and these early systems, like none of them put it on rest mode and it didn't shit the bed.
It doesn't seem like it's widespread. Like it seems like these are normal launch day problems.
So just little sprinkles?
Yeah, just little sprinkles that are being reported that are happening, which they are happening, but it doesn't seem like it's a widespread like Ring of Death, you know, kind of issue, or like a large percentage, 10-20% of people right are their system's breaking when they do this one particular thing. I look at it a couple different angles. The first angle I look at it is we're learning just like how backed up Sony is, because I saw one guy, his PlayStation 5 bricked, and it took him like 4 to 5 weeks
to get another one?
To get it back. Yeah, because you have to, first of all, it took him like 3 days alone just to finally get in touch with Sony.
Okay.
To get it into the system, you know, for him to ship it back.
Yeah.
And then they told him it was going to be 4+ weeks before they got it back to him.
Jeez,
so
man.
One of two things happens. They either repair it or they send you a new one. And so it's like, man, that's a bummer. So that's like crazy. Like these issues, they're just swamped right now. For one, they're swamped probably with trying to sell it, everyone contacting them and talking to them about it. And then on two, they got to fix all these things. So Sony's swamped right now. So that's the bummer. If yours is bricked, I would say don't worry. You will get it. It will be fixed and you'll get a new one.
Just sucks,
but
man.
It sucks. It's such a bummer.
Yeah, because if you're somebody who just like doesn't care about their previous system, you just upgrade to the next one. You probably already traded your old one in, your PS4 in.
You have nothing to play
towards
now,
your PS5. So yeah, now you're just assed out. Like you have nothing right now.
Yeah.
And you just have to wait. Like
I
got it, but it ain't here.
I've always, you pretty much too, have always purchased launch day consoles.
Yeah.
I've never had an issue with any launch day console I've ever
I never got the Ring of Death on my 360.
I never had any problems.
Any
so
of those issues.
These things are always just kind of like, you know, not myths, but just, you know,
unicorns.
Yeah, they're like stories, you know, that you hear happening, these horror stories, but they never seem to really happen to me. And the other thing that I looked at this is like, hey, this is good. Those of us who weren't able to get it on day one, like we know now what not to do. With our PlayStation.
Yeah, don't rest them.
Don't rest Miles Morales, until you know the firmware's come through and it's been fixed. Like, you know, these things, don't play games off external hard drives. Like, you know the things not to do if you didn't get yours on day one. So these guys are kind of like beta testing the system for us, and those of us who are getting it a little bit later, we know exactly what not to do. You know, so we can look at it that way as well. There's that silver lining there.
Yeah, it's definitely a reach, but it's one of those things.
Yeah, there's something there. Like, okay, now I know what not to do at least. You know.
Especially with how hard it is to get the PS5 on my baby mine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not taking any chances. So
yeah, I'm gonna baby.
I'm like
one game at a time.
No shutting it down every time.
Turning off rest mode. Shutting it down.
I'm logging out of the game completely.
I'm dusting the perimeter.
I'm pressing menu. I'm going to quit game. Then I'm going to end application. Then I'm going to shut down system.
Man.
Yeah.
But so like I think. Yeah, last week, towards the end of the beginning of this week or whatever, I was reading this article that was kind of stating like that there were no more game systems left. Mm-hmm. Like PlayStation 5 has sold all their systems, Xbox has sold all theirs. And then, you know, a couple of days ago, you know, Kohls, you know, they had like a launch on their website. Like randomly, dude, like Kohls, like you know what I mean. I wasn't even expecting Kohls, but
no one was.
Yeah, so I just happened to be, you know, playing. I was playing board games with my family, and I was just chilling, and then my Twitter was going off on my phone, so I checked it. Somebody's like, "Oh, Kohls, check Kohls." So I know I looked at Kohls the moment I'm in it. I get a text from you. Hitting me up, say, "Hey, Kohls is doing it." So, I go in there. Kohls got a bundle and whatnot, and so you know, I picked the bundle up and I put it in there, and I'm kind of like, you know, just nonchalant because I've pretty much had it with all of these online releases. So I'm just like I'm
whatever.
not even.
If I get it, I get
I'm
it,
not
whatever,
throwing my energy into it. So, You know, I was waiting on it, and I didn't have to wait too long. It didn't give me no crazy shit, just like constantly, you know, messing me up. I'm doing this on my phone, you know, and I managed to get it in cart, and I was like, okay, cool. And then I went to checkout, and I had put in all my information or whatever because I was just doing a guest checkout. Haven't, you know, done an account for Kohls or anything like that. Did all that stuff, and then went to check out. It said, nope, not in your cart or something like that. And I was like, damn. So I did the refresh thing or whatever. Oh, it's still in my cart. Let me try again. I hit the checkout. A whole bunch of information pops up. Like it's in my cart, but it wants me to like fill out the stuff. So I'm just doing like, I wasn't
Did you
even
make a Kohls
thinking.
account or you did it by guest?
I did it with the guest and then
Same.
made the Kohls account like
Later.
after the
Last
fact. Yeah.
Same.
So like I was just like clicking whatever auto populate my iPhone was giving me, like boop 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 boop, like
Yeah,
whatever, so
same.
I could mash and
Yeah.
get the checkout. I get the checkout, boom. It tells me order confirmation number.
Like, whoa.
It's like da, 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 you know what I mean? And I'm like, oh shit, I
just
got
got
a
it.
PS5
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
didn't put no effort into
Yep.
it. So I know I had texted you guys and let y'all know what was going on. So the moment I did that, right, I swiped up. I got out of my Safari browser. I went to text you guys. I go back into my Safari browser so I could take a picture of the order confirmation number and send it to y'all.
Yeah.
Like, hey, this is what
Right.
it showed me. Shit gone. Like it refreshed my page or something.
And you're like, no.
Like I'm like, what? I don't even
way to follow
remember.
up. No, if it doesn't
Yeah,
work.
I don't remember what email address I signed up for
Because you're
Kohls.
auto populating everything.
Yeah, I don't remember if my phone number was correct.
Yeah.
I don't remember what the confirmation number was. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, God, like if I just taken the picture that moment, I'd be straight. So I was just sweating for like, I think like maybe it was like another 4 or 5 hours or something like that.
And then you got. the
And then
email,
we
right?
finally got
Yeah.
a confirmation email stating it. But I could they been took my money. They took my
Right.
money out of there.
Immediately.
Yeah, instantly. You know, I saw that there was a charge on my card, and so I was
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, damn. So, you know, we did all of that. Then I'm like super stoked. I'm telling you, I got one. I'm letting y'all know and everything like that. And then Ray's like, dude, it looks like everybody got one. And I'm like, what? What are you
Yeah.
talking about?
That's right.
He's like-
you guys that
he's like,
information. Yep.
Dude, there's mad people on Twitter. Like, I got one. I got one.
Everyone,
Whatever.
every second you refresh, it's like I got
Dude.
one in the bag.
Yeah.
Secured.
It was
secured.
insane.
So I was just like a little disheartened after that, but I was like, you know, we obviously came to the conclusion that it's inevitable. That is not inevitable, but it's impossible for a
Kohls.
retailer like Kohls to have more than like a Best Buy or
Right,
a Walmart.
Target. Yeah.
Yeah, somebody
Or
that,
more than
like,
Japan as a
specializes in
country
this.
as a whole.
Country and all.
Yeah.
I know.
So I ended that night, you know, just like, hey, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And sure enough, 7 in the flipping morning. It was actually 6:53 a.m. Boom! I get an email, and it tells me my shit's been canceled. So
Damn.
it
Yep.
told me like, hey, you know, we oversold or whatever. There's no quantity going. USOL, buddy. But here, hold this L and take this $180 cold cash with you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, you guys had like pretty much the same
Yeah.
experience.
So
right?
for me, mine was delayed. So you guys did it like around 10.
You did it before me.
You guys-
Basically, what happened was I was like, I text y'all out when I was seeing it going down,
right,
but I didn't do it. I was letting y'all know because I already got my Costco, and so I
Yeah.
wasn't really doing it.
Right.
But I let y'all know, and then but it kept going.
Yeah.
Like the add to cart kept staying, and so then I eventually did it shortly after you did, and I kept telling Mark, "Have you done it yet, man? You
Yeah,
got it
'cause-
yet?" And finally, you and I.
Because I was busy, I was doing things, I was in the middle of something. So then I saw
never
it.
too busy for a PS5.
right?
No, but when I saw it and I had a chance, because you know sometimes you get a text and you glance.
Yeah.
yeah.
But then when it kept glancing, I was like PS5, and I was like, oh wait, PS5 is live. So I nonchalantly went to Kohls,
Yeah,
created an account just straight out of the gates.
yeah.
Then I tried to add it to I tried to search for it, and I could, it wasn't
Couldn't
popping
find
up on
it.
the search. So I was like, oh, it must be out. So I texted you. I was like, it's out. I don't even care. But then for whatever reason, I was on my laptop. I went on my phone, and then I typed it on my phone, and it came right up. So I logged into my account.
Yeah, that was happening. Some people were. I did mine on the site, and some people are like, "No, it's only working on the app."
Yeah,
It was either app or site.
yeah. So I went on the
Uh.
phone. I added it to the cart with no lag, no issues, no nothing. I just signed in, signed out, paid the piper. I like the bundle actually. I generally don't like bundles, but this bundle had everything
it was
I
the
like.
exact same
It was
bundle
just
I got
the
from-
basic
yeah,
bundle.
It was the same
from
one from
Costco.
Costco.
That's a
The
good
same Costco bundle, except mine came
Those
with
are
the PS Now.
things. Those are things
Yeah.
I would buy. So plus you get the Kohls cash. So
Which was enormous.
I checked out, paid, and I was on top of the world. But you guys started texting me like, man, this was 30 minutes after you guys bought it. So
Yeah.
there's no. If I was 30 seconds,
I know, dude.
You like, well, if you don't got shit,
No,
I probably don't got shit either.
No, my idea was like, dude, if Stones gets canceled, all of ours is getting canceled.
So-
Yeah, because
you
I
were
was
the
like
first
on
one,
it. Yeah.
so in the in this PlayStation hunting game, if you're 30 seconds late,
Yeah,
you're out.
of it. Exactly.
I was 30 minutes out and I bought it. So I hit up one of my other friends who's been trying to get one, and he's been messaging me when there's things going on.
Mhm.
I was like, hey man, did you see Kohls? He's like, oh, the bundle's too much. I was like, the bundle, what do you mean the bundle's too much? He's like, yeah. Shout out to you, Squid Biscuit. He's like, yeah, I saw it.
See,
But
I was gonna ask you if it was Squiddy.
yeah, he was like, I saw it. I just want the digital. I was like, dude, you could have just resold it and bought a digital.
Yeah.
But anyways, he's
But
like,
that's one of the issues that I've been coming across, man. Is like I see the stuff and I want to click it, but it's just these bundles are just doing too much, man. Just sell me the damn console. Don't
Just
sell me
gotta
no
take it,
bundle,
man.
bro.
Just
You
gotta
just gotta take it.
You're
You
getting
gotta
stuff
take it.
at least with it.
you got to take it and hope you could go return it.
Hey man, there's lots of people that are spending $900, $1,000 on a PS5 and
even
getting
more.
nothing extra with it.
I know,
Right,
and
at
those
least
are
you're-
fools.
At least I know, but I'm saying at least you're getting product
At least you're getting something
for that money, right?
Yeah.
You know, so
Well, I mean, it makes it a lot better if you can sit there and break apart the bundle and return the pieces you
Yeah.
don't want.
Sure.
If that's okay,
Or
but you
resell
still got to
them.
be able to have
or
the
resell them,
capital.
which I have no
Resell
problem
them.
reselling
Or
items.
resell-
Yeah, you just got to be able to have the capital to get
Yeah.
through the system.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if you don't got the $900 for their dumbass bundle,
Yeah.
you can't get in. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
You can't even acquire it. You know, so
Yeah.
that's the problem that I'm annoyed with.
Because you have a specific amount of money you set aside, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, here's my play money. You know, this is like it's like $700, but you got an $850 bundle now. So
Mhm.
like I gotta come up with $100 and some dollars out my ass to be able to pay for this bundle
Yeah.
to get it in hopes that I can give you back half the shit you tried to sell me, so I can just walk out of
Or
here
find
with just
someone
this
else to
console.
sell it to and take
Yeah.
the time to get the money back.
Or
yeah.
find somebody
Mhm.
else to
Yeah.
sell it to. You know?
But because I bought it so much later than you guys, I didn't get my confirmation. I
Way
didn't
late.
get my cancellation until like a day ago, 2 days ago. Like the day you got yours, I didn't get mine until 2 days after you guys got your cancellation.
Wow. So you got yours on, like,
2
Monday?
days, dude. I
2
know,
days.
you waited
Monday,
a
Tuesday?
while.
Cause I got mine's literally that was a Saturday evening.
I didn't
I
get
got
mine.
mine's Sunday morning.
I didn't get mine till Tuesday.
Wow.
So they were backed
Mine
up.
was that shortly after yours.
Okay,
They
yeah,
Hour
were
or two
ba-
after yours.
So I was
Yeah, it was
feeling
real
kind of
backed
good.
up on
I was
your
like,
ass.
hey, maybe because I created an account, maybe because I don't know, but I
Yeah.
was feeling good because I didn't get a cancellation. And but I got the cancellation. I got the supposedly if you're in any Kohls cash, you could keep it, which
right. Which is
I'm gonna
email
find
I
out
got.
today. In
I'm
the
going to
comments
Kohls
below,
today.
let us know
Just do
if
it
you
online,
if you
man.
were
I'm
able
going on Kohls.
to
I'm going
use
on
your
Kohls
Kohls cash and what you got with it. Because I'm trying to use it ASAP.
Yeah, for sure. Put it in the comments if
Yeah.
y'all got that 180. Tell us what you put.
So yeah, let me know what you get. You know.
Yeah, I'm gonna go today. I'm mainly going today because I'm going to Best Buy as well because it's Black Friday deals.
Cool.
And I'm trying to get some other things, like
Cool.
big
But-
things.
But after the Kohls,
like TVs and stuff.
No, like vacuum cleaners and stuff.
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah.
so after,
essentials.
after that
essentials.
night of Kohls though, like I couldn't sleep, guys. Like
Nightmares,
I
right?
felt like how I haven't felt in a while. I was like, I got a PS5.
I know.
I got a
lot of people were
PS5.
feeling
I
that way,
couldn't
bro.
sleep. And Squid or someone hit me up like, hey,
You
Best
don't got shit.
Best Buy. No. Best Buy is dropping right now.
Oh yeah.
So I went
And you
on
didn't
my
even bother
phone
'cause you
in
had them
bed.
already, right?
No, I did. I
Oh.
placed a digital and a regular in my cart, and I
Right.
was on checkout, but it kept giving me a thing. The store, it kept saying San Bernardino was out, so I kept trying to search other stores, and it kept saying San Bernardino was out,
Yeah.
San Bernardino was out. But I had them in my cart, and it was weird because at first I was doing it on my phone, and it made you wait. You couldn't keep refreshing. It was like you're in a queue. So I went on my computer and just like did a bunch of browsers, incognitos. So I had a bunch of them open,
yeah.
and they were all having the same issue. Like I was getting through and I was checking out, but it kept saying like to pick them up on Friday and yesterday, and it kept saying, oh no, nothing within 250 miles away from you. So I just went to sleep. I was like, I got Kohls, I'm not gonna deal with this crap.
Right.
But I did check out with like multiple browsers with those, but
Mhm.
it just
You
didn't
couldn't
happen.
get Best Buy, huh?
Yeah, I noticed that this morning, before we started the pod, that I was attempting to put a Series X in my cart, and I clicked to add to cart, and then it just said, "Hey, you gotta wait for a minute."
This was Best
and
Buy?
then,
Yeah.
you wait for a minute, and then
It picks you.
if it pops up with an add to cart again, then you'll be able to add it to your cart, and then you can
And
choose
it did, huh?
to get it. So I just let it sit. It was like right before you guys got here, and then it showed the yellow button for add to cart, and I added to cart, and then I had to find out where I could purchase it from. So I was trying to
closest
do
one was
one from
orange.
around here, but it just wasn't going. Yeah, the next one, it was trying to say it was orange, but I heard that if you refreshed it, some of the other locations that weren't showing up would show up later. So San Bernardino had popped up again, but it just wouldn't let me check out. So I think it was still kind of
so you were trying to get it, but you couldn't check out, huh?
Yeah, I was trying to get it closer to me. You know what I
Right.
mean? I'll go out of my way for a PS5, but I'm not trying to go that
I
far
hear you.
for an Xbox.
I hear you.
Just,
I still would
just for
have.
me.
I still would have.
But I was trying to figure out if I
Short
could
drive,
get
nothing.
one, but it wasn't even letting me.
I
add it
drive
to
out
cart
here every
like
week
that.
to chat with you guys.
Yeah.
It ain't nothing for me to drive over to the store to grab it.
Yeah.
But
so.
yeah, for me, like, there's a lot going on here, man. Like, because what happened was I text y'all, and then I kept following it because I was following it all. Like, I had it in my ear, the guy talking, I had Twitter up, and man, I was looking at so many Twitter comments, man, of people saying they got it, I got it. Oh my gosh, I finally got it. Like, Mark, everyone and their brother was just like, yeah,
Everybody.
like it was manna falling
whole
from
world.
the heavens, and we're
Yeah.
all
The
just
whole
collecting.
world.
It was a Christmas miracle. The whole world was able to finally get a PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
Kohls maybe made it happen. I saw one guy, I got 5, one from my brother, one from me, one from my dad. I was like, there's no way. When I started seeing comments like that, man, I was like, there's no flipping way that there's this many freaking consoles,
Could you imagine just the amount of Kohls cash you'd have got from all those
I know,
canceled
dude.
orders?
I was watching one guy too, just like, gosh, man, I was just so excited. I tapped it so many times. I bought 5 freaking PS5. I just spent $3,000 on PlayStation 5s, and he was like panicking. I was dying, man. I was laughing so hard. It's
trying to figure out how to pay this credit card bill.
on PlayStation 5s. And I was laughing so hard, man. But I was like, that dude's probably happy. I got canceled and he got like $1,000 in Kohls cash.
Dude,
I got $1,000
He
in
came
Kohls
up.
cash.
He came
$1,000 in Kohls cash, dude.
Yeah, he
and I was
came
like,
up.
dang. I should have told my wife. My wife was on it too. She was just checking to see what I was.
just
'cause
buy,
I
man.
kept going out there. I was like, dude, hun, like, this has been up for like an hour and it's still up, available. I can still add to cart again. You know, so I told my brother-in-law, I hit you guys up, and I was letting everyone know. Everyone in the world was doing this too. They were all doing what we were doing.
Yeah.
So I was like, there's no way. There's hundreds of thousands of these things I know have been sold. I just know it. And there's no possible way Kohls had that many.
Wouldn't that be a trip though if out of all of these retailers, PlayStation was like, hey, let's give like 90% of our inventory to Kohls, and let's just see if they can run with it. You know.
But the craziest thing I saw too was like the numbers came out finally, and I texted to y'all that they sold over 100,000 PlayStation 5s that night.
They damn
And
near
they
sold
only
all
had
the consoles sold in
2,000
Japan.
their stock, only 2,000, and so they made $1 million in sales, and then gave $18 million out in Kohls cash.
Whoa.
$18 million in Kohls cash.
Let's see if it works.
Who was fired?
Those
that night,
bots,
dude?
dude. Those bots just collected.
Who
I'm
was-
sure.
Dude, that's the thing I was gonna talk about too. There were no bots on Kohls.
Yeah.
There
No?
were none.
No.
Dude,
People ain't
it
creating
was
bots for Kohls.
Buttery smooth.
And it was
It was just click, click, click.
For
And
an
that's just
hour.
because Kohls
Yeah,
wasn't
the whole
in their
time.
repertoire.
No,
of,
the
like,
whole
searching.
window. It
was perfect.
From
It was
start
perfect.
to finish.
Yeah.
It was just normal.
there was no lag, nothing. The only
There was
thing
no
was
mistake or
on the
error.
desktop you couldn't search it, and on the phone you could, which they probably
Right.
changed a setting or something.
I already had it on my. So I was just refreshing the page, and
It's butter.
it's like, this is crazy. I can still add this thing to cart. This is incredible. What's going on here?
Yeah.
You know, I was getting a little worried about the Kohls cash because I had gone on as a guest. So I wasn't sure if I was going to get that.
I was
cash,
freaking out about
but I
that,
got
too.
the email for the Kohls cash. I have my barcode and everything, so I'm going to try it today,
Yeah.
and I'm going to see what happens. You
Yeah,
know?
I'm just getting some I think some stuff for the kids or something like
yeah,
that.
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, it's
Trying to get
you buy lots of
miscellaneous
Christmas gifts with this, man.
stuff.
Like, you
Yeah.
knock out a lot of gifts this way. But
Yeah,
I was
man.
like, dude, man, I wish I got my wife on it, me on it, everyone on it, and you double up all this
Stacked.
Kohls cash, man.
Take
How
that empty
incredible.
credit card and just go nuts. Just go
Dude,
ball
that's
out.
a compensation and a half. It was like
For sure.
incredible amount of money they were giving away in the Kohls cash. But man, that was the craziest. That was probably so far the craziest PlayStation 5 launch story like yet.
Yeah.
Like that was insane, man.
What's more insane though is the fact that you got these damn scalpers got more inventory than these freaking stores, man.
I
That's
know.
crazy.
Like it's bananas. Like you got dudes taking pictures with walls of PlayStation 5s and stuff like that, you know? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, there was
It's
one
way too
scalper group.
ridiculous.
We had the article we checked out. They had like almost 2,500 PlayStation 5s in their stock.
They had as much as the Kohls drop.
They had more than Kohls.
More
Yeah.
than a whole chain.
Dude, that's what they're saying. Like these scalpers have more inventory than entire store chains.
Man.
That's insane, man.
Yeah.
But I heard they're getting They're sweating now, like because they have so many, and people are starting to really, not buy them.
That's
Mhm.
good.
That's good news, and they're starting to sweat. 'cause
Yeah.
they spend
I want
lots of
them
money
shits
on
to
these
get mad
things.
stale in their hands.
Yeah,
Like I
dude.
want them to be like, man, I gotta get this brick
Let's
off
just get
me.
our money back, right?
Yeah.
And they
Yeah,
start
or
dropping
start-
to like 700 or something, and people can get a little bit of a
That
break.
ain't bad. That ain't-
Yeah, or at least just start lowering the prices.
That's
back
what I
to,
mean, like down to
you know,
700 or something.
Yeah, to something that's more reasonable instead of
Right.
adding an extra $300,
Someone don't mind
$400
paying
tax on there.
100,
I don't mind
150
tipping
more.
someone $100.
Yeah, exactly.
At
I don't mind
this
tipping
point,
someone that.
at
Yeah.
this point, 100.
I wouldn't be
maybe
surprised if that
150.
starts happening. Although I do think like the closer and closer we get to Christmas, the more and more desperate people will get, and the more and more they'll start selling. So
Well, the good thing that I was hearing, and I don't know if it's true or whatever, because PlayStation sold us a bunch of bullshit this whole year.
10 million for holiday season.
Yeah,
Bull
so
crap, dude.
But I did hear that essentially they're saying that there were going to be more PlayStations by the end of the year. So
Cool.
I'm assuming that
You just keep looking for drops.
by the very end of this month, there might be some more frequent drops, or maybe there's like something, maybe they got a whole bunch that was on the pipeline and it just comes out, on PS Direct or something like that. But yeah, I mean, I've seen articles that are saying like, oh, this is it, like they're done, like there's no more or whatever. But they also see the frustration, like PlayStation sees people cursing them out on Twitter because of these dumb drops and the dumb mechanics that they're making us work through to be able to get these things. The fact that you can't go into a store, you got to get it
That's
online.
the biggest problem.
So then you're dealing with every one of these websites, like poor servers, and how they just can't handle the traffic, that's being thrown their way. But yet they're still hyping it up. Like I don't still understand it. Like if you know that your website is shit and it cannot handle
I don't
the
get it
amount
either.
of people that are coming, why do you still constantly advertise that this is the day I'm going to drop it?
Yep.
This is whatever. Like it's going to tank that day. Why not just have it consistently sprinkling on your webpage or something like that? Like maybe like every other day is like a random drop at some
That's what's
random
worked
time.
for a lot
2
of
in the
sites,
morning, 10
know?
at night, 6 in the morning, whatever.
Walmart thinks they're being courteous by letting
people know the
like
times.
they're respecting people's times. Because otherwise you're just sitting there all day trying to hope and you refresh, right? And it's random. Like
Yeah,
so I
that's
get
true.
the reason, but it's also like good intentions are the road. The road to destruction is paved with good intentions.
Yeah.
As the old saying goes. And so it's like the bots are ready. That's the thing. That's why Kohls works so well. No one ever thought Kohls would be selling PS5s, and so no one built their bots and set them up
For
on
Kohls, yeah.
Kohls. That's why it worked so well. But they messed up because for some reason they didn't internally put their stock amount on the site to shut down once they sold out. Like
Yeah.
someone messed up hard there. Like incredibly hard. Like the biggest mess up I think I've ever seen. That's more of a mess up than Walmart's mess up.
What'd be crazy is if like top of the morning, like first quarter of 2021, like almost like 200 and some Kohls is shut down because of all the inventory they lost from that $18 million
that
in
they shut
Kohls
down
cash.
10 stores. Yeah, I would not be surprised, man. Like that's incredible. That's a
Yeah.
lot of inventory they're giving away.
That's nuts,
A
dude.
lot of inventory they're giving away.
Yeah, I was kind of like, I was stoked that I had the Walmart issue with the Miles Morales and that price, error or whatever,
yeah.
and getting the 20
Right.
the $20, but you took 180, and that's like across all of the people that
All
bought
over the
these
country,
cousins,
man.
the people who got them and the people who didn't. Just they all get the 180. Like I don't know how many people was really buying those Miles Moraleses for the $21.
Yeah, very few saw it,
off
and it
of
shut off
Walmart.
pretty quick.
Yeah.
Because you said like you went back and it was already like switched back, so
Yeah,
it was a
yeah, a
very
couple
small
hours or
window.
whatever.
You know, they caught the mistake.
Yeah, and you literally
You know?
had to hit like direct
But
links
that's a
to the
$20
product.
mistake, man.
Right.
That's a $200 mistake. A
Yeah.
pop.
It's rough.
Like it's the craziest thing.
So the Kohls cash is only valid for what, 10 days?
Yeah.
A week?
A week. A little over a
It's-
week.
Yeah, yeah. It was specifically for that Black Friday time frame. So I think it expires, excuse me, like December the 4th or the
6th
8th,
or
one of
something. I
those
think
two.
it's the 6th,
We
yeah.
need to spend
Yeah.
it today.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
going today. I'm going out today when I get back. My wife and I, we're gonna go out today, and try to spend that money. And then like I was reading to that CEO, that guy was saying how we've sold everything. Like we've sold every PlayStation 5. It's gone.
Right.
Like that doesn't mean that there isn't any to buy. That just means that they've gotten rid of their inventory. It's dispersed. It's all out there. We have no more to give out. You know. And he was talking about like, yeah, he's hearing all the hate, you know, and all the backlash. He said we spent months trying to build demand, and now we're back to square one trying to build supply.
Yeah.
You know, it's almost like we did our job too well. They did. They really did their job incredibly well building demand.
The one dude said that he had a job. His job was to market it, and he said he
Great
marketed it too damn well,
Dude, they really
for what they had in quantity.
so much better than the PS4 because
Yeah.
there was no mad dash like this with the PS4.
There
we
was no
went
mad dash,
like
but there
that.
was
We waited
also
a few
mad
hours.
quantity. There was mad quantity.
There clearly was because there was 320 sold in Japan, right, for PS4 on launch day. They had a mad quantity.
320,000.
Yeah, 320,000 on the same window,
Yeah.
launch window as the PS5.
Right.
And they sold a lot of PS4s. And I remember, man, I went there that morning to the day it launched, and I was like, oh, there might have been a line because the PS3 there was this mad line. I thought I was late. I went there that morning, Walmart, not a soul, waiting for the PS4.
Yeah.
And I was there. They were like looking. I was like, okay, where did we wait for the PS4? They were like looking at me cross-eyed, like, huh, what?
You just go pick it up over
And
here,
like,
man.
well, you can sit over here if you want. We're gonna release it. I was like, okay. And so I sat down on the bench. I was our first in line,
Yeah.
and it was super easy. I just waited the hours. I can't remember when I got there. It was during the day. I didn't wait overnight.
Yeah.
It was just during the day. I got there. I think you got there early too. You were waiting in line at your place too.
Yeah, I got there probably like maybe like 6,
Yeah.
and it's supposed to release at 9.
Yeah. And you were
So-
pretty close to the front, weren't you? You were
Yeah, I was
first
like
in line.
3.
Yeah,
I was
you were-
like 3 or 4.
Yeah, I got there
So-
earlier than that. Like I got there like late morning.
Okay.
So I was there longer than you. I was probably there 10 hours.
Yeah.
But that's nothing, man, you know? And my dad came and like eventually some people started showing up like you, and there's a little bit of a line.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Right.
But it was just so easy.
And they were
like,
willing to tell you how many they had.
Yeah. It
Like,
was
oh, we got
so
like about
easy.
like 20, 25, something like
The
that.
PS3
so
too.
You,
like
you
they
got
told
one.
us how many they had, and they came on. They gave us tickets.
Yeah.
You know, okay, this is your number. The
I don't
GameStops,
get it.
dude. I called them ahead of time to find how many they have. It's just the runaround, man. I'm sorry, I cannot do this. We have some, but I can't tell you how many. We can't. And I think I know why. The reason why is because, and I get it, they wanted to use the PS5s. We will have some guarantee to generate foot traffic. They're just trying to generate foot traffic.
Yeah,
Getting
they're
people to
hoping
show
that-
up and say, "Hey, you have PS5s left?" No, okay, well then I'll buy something else. You know,
Right, yeah.
Like
they're
that's
just
all
hoping
it was.
they're hoping that, you feel bad because you sat in line for 8 hours overnight and you're just going to pick something up because
Right.
you were there. Like there's bound to be some decent deal when you go in there, so you'll just grab it.
It was just to create foot traffic.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
It's
dirty.
just-
It's
terrible.
dirty, man. Like, because they wouldn't tell you how many they had. Totally. And I get it. Like, they wanted to use the hype of that to create foot traffic. But man, I was telling like my wife and my dad's like, that version's on criminal, dude. Like, you're willing to let these people sit out here in the cold? There's 30 people out here in the cold, you know?
Especially during COVID season.
Yeah, like it's just
Come on.
criminal, dude. Like, there's something. It's totally unethical. It's totally immoral.
And it seems like, in the previous years, they would always be like, hey, there's 5 in stock. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that's
Yeah,
all we
it's
have.
true.
You know what I mean? We might be getting another shipment in. Check back with us on like Monday of next week or something like that. But this is it. So, you guys can just go because there's like no point. You know what I mean? Like there was plenty of times where I've been in a line waiting for a game and they just cut the line. Like, hey, it stops right here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, unless you're waiting for something else or whatever, you could come in and get that. But if you're waiting for the game system, that's with this line right here. And this is it, the end of the line.
I mean, they did it for the pre-orders.
Right.
So we know they can do it. They have the capacity to do it because they did it during the pre-orders. They wrote on the little paper how many they had during the pre-order time. So they can do it, but they chose not to do it.
Yeah.
and that's very dirty.
It's so dirty, man.
So-
Like, GameStop is a dirty rank company.
I think they're just struggling to stay alive, you know.
No, they're
And
trying to squeeze
They
every last
just
drop
did
they
that.
can
That
out of
just did that
everything.
freaking deal with Microsoft. So why that's not enough to float? Like you don't have to do all that stuff. I mean,
Yeah,
I
you don't
already
gotta do
told
that.
you guys that I just had those issues with calling and then getting the attitude and whatnot
Yeah.
over the phone
Same here.
and stuff. And but it's
And
just
I will
it's-
say it does depend GameStop to GameStop. There
Right,
are some
not all of
more
them are
low-life
ass,
ones
yeah.
versus other ones. Like the one here in town, the San Marino one, that's a lame one.
yeah. But
The
if you go to the
my
one in
town's a lame one,
Highland,
but that one's nice.
that
yeah.
one, yeah, they'll actually
yeah.
talk to you as if you have
Exactly.
a soul.
Yeah, like the one where my brother-in-law lives in Menifee was a great one. The one in
Mhm.
Hemet's much better than the one in San Jacinto.
Right.
So it really does depend GameStop to GameStop, but there are some real rank ones. And then GameStop themselves do dirty things too. You know, like the bundle scam. For me, it's like it's a scam, making you pay $800 something for the bundle online
For a
you know?
week
It's
bundle,
a total
a
scam.
week.
Like,
yeah, because people want it, and
it's
the
like,
only thing they're
yeah,
releasing is bundles.
They're trying
That's
to push more product with it, you know. And it's like, yeah, you're giving me something that's much better than scalpers. Okay, you're a little more ethical than scalpers, but it's like, come on, man. Like you're clearly using the hype of the system to push more product. It's
But,
just
like,
underhanded.
Everybody and their mom is doing it though. Like
Everyone
there's,
is.
just like being on Twitter, and there's people like on the East Coast, West Coast, South, North, whatever. But because you're out there and you see it all, like there's websites like and online. You know what I mean? I think
Mhm.
that's more of like an East Coast thing. For some reason, it ships everywhere else but California. But they were constantly releasing bundles. You had like this place,
CVS
Mayor or something
or
like that,
QVC
Major
or whatever.
something.
Oh,
QVC was
QVC
selling a
had
nasty
an
bundle.
ass bundle,
terrible
dude, for like
bundle.
$900.
It wasn't even authentic PlayStation products. It was like a
Yeah,
whole bunch of just junk they
It
just
was
threw
jank,
off the shelf.
jank
into
that
the
they were
pile.
throwing in there in that
Yeah.
mix, and I was like, dude, QVC should be ashamed of themselves for
Mhm.
this one.
And they sold out.
They were throwing like thumbsticks, like generic ass thumbsticks on there. You know what I mean? Like
Some rank ass headset
The
that wasn't what
rubber-
anyone wanted.
the rubber grips to go over your controller,
Mhm.
like that. They
Dang.
were showing some
All the
like
stuff
some
you get like
terrible
at Dollar
stuff.
Tree.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was just
Damn.
a pile of jank.
Stuff that definitely when you're looking at it, like you can assess it, it's not worth the extra $300.
Oh, no.
Because
that's on
I
there.
thought the Kohls bundle was really good. It's the same bundle that
No, the
like,
Kohls is a great
Sam's-
bundle.
Yeah.
Because everyone
Sam's is a
wants
good bundle.
Miles Morales. Everyone wants another controller.
Mhm.
That's fair. Like
Yeah.
you're gonna get that anyways. But when you're adding like GameStop $100 gift card, I could understand if it was a PlayStation subscription. Okay,
And a PS
At least that stacks
Plus
on one-
subscription.
but they're adding a blank $100 gift card. Why not just keep the $100 in your pocket and buy something when you're ready? You know,
Because they want that money
They're
locked
adding-
into their
That's
store.
an additional $100 purchase they weren't.
they're
getting
adding the
from you.
Mamba edition. Why not just get the regular edition? You know,
Right.
and if you want the Mamba edition, you could pay the difference. But
yeah, man,
they're-
$100 game that you're
It's
throwing in with the
understanded,
bundle
man.
as
I
well as some
know.
other things,
they're reaching.
I mean that
how-
that one Curacao doing the
Oh,
gaming chair, you know what I
yeah,
mean,
the
and
chair.
throwing like
Oh my
extra $300 onto the system.
that's messed
setup.
up
Like,
too, man.
It's because
It's
these
not-
places are getting their stock. They have like 10. We got to get as much. You guys squeeze as much out of this as we can, you know? And so they're just like, it don't matter as long as these 10 sell. We'll find 10 suckers out there to buy
And
a
they
gaming
will.
chair with our PS5, you know?
Also, I don't know if you guys have even been checking or paying attention to it, but Facebook is littered with tons of PS5s and Xbox Series X's and stuff that state like $50, $5,
Finance
whatever.
now. I know.
Financing. I called the place up because my mother-in-law had hit me up like, hey, there's a guy on Facebook Marketplace or whatever that's selling a PlayStation 5 or whatever. And I was like, really? And she was like, yeah. And he's like in San Bernardino. And so I was like, and he has a store. So I was like, okay, that's weird. So I look up the place or whatever. It's like Zi-Fi Wireless or something weird.
Some
A
dumb name,
a phone spot, that's like a third party,
Right.
that just sells, random phones and stuff.
Mhm.
So I call up and I'm like, hey, you guys got any PlayStation 5s in stock? And he's like, yeah, actually we do. And then he was like, what would you be thinking about, cash or finance? And I was like, cash. And then he was like, oh, okay. So the price would be, what was it, like $1,200? And I was like, oh, really? And I was like, okay, so what is it with financing? He's like, it's the same price, but you pay $50 down and then you just pay, 4 monthly payments or whatever. of the 1200. So I was like, oh, all right, thanks.
Click.
Yeah.
I know.
But it's like tons of people up there, man. I mean, I did see some, selling it for like 1100 or whatever. But financing, like they're literally trying to finance you this expensive ass overpriced resellers price console and just going with it, and then nothing down, like or all you need is a bank account, whatever. And all I was thinking in my mind was like, man, how about I just go get like one of them little jank ass like bank accounts real quick, to go put in the finance for it, as long as I don't gotta give my social, and I'll slide out. But I'm pretty sure you gotta give your social for it or whatever. But if your credit is like effed up anyways and you don't care, man, $50, get your system, and then just go ghost. Like, just let them keep hitting your credit.
But yeah, it would be more ranked, like at least if you paid up to what the PS5 was worth.
Yeah, $500.
Like give them the $550 or that they paid or whatever after tax,
Yeah.
and then you go ghost, right? But like just giving them $50. But these scalpers, man, are starting to get hit, right?
They're starting to get robbed, man.
Beat up.
People are still in the
some
the
dummy
consoles.
shows his picture, leaves some information in there. People find him, show up at his house and rob him. Like these scalpers, man. Like,
yeah, even hand-to-hand robbing.
People are pissed, dude. People are pissed.
Yeah, because people aren't trying to.
People are mad.
People aren't trying to take this stuff anymore.
Yeah,
man,
they're done. They're fed up.
You coming into a whole nother market that
was not resale line like out, man. Let people make their own decisions, But it is what it is, This is the world we live in right now, so.
Yeah, man, everything is getting hectic, but I'm hoping that what was said will possibly be true. I mean, I do consistently see there being small drizzles of consoles here and there.
Yeah,
so
Microsoft slowly
Microsoft
slowly opens up the Xbox Series X and S to be purchased on their website directly, but they always say these will ship after Christmas. These will not ship until the end of December or January.
Almost like pre-orders again.
Yeah, it's like pre-orders again, and they're slowly trickling them out. I think they're literally manufacturing them off the shelf right now, and so I
wouldn't mind that if you just gave me a tab to go and then put one in, and then when you get it, they got it.
Yeah, let me get queued on the list. If it's in January, at least I know I'm getting it. I can be done with this, this ordeal.
Right.
So I like that Microsoft is doing that. I wish so. I think like Sony's kind of taking a little bit of a page out of the book because they slowly trickle them out too. But these big manufacturers, man, this has been terrible. This has been a nightmare. I'm done. I am done. So
yeah, you should be getting yours sometime this week, right?
I'm done looking. I'm done. I'm over it. So.
Yeah. Well, that's all we got for this week. Enough complaining for us. Yeah. I'm sure we'll have some more things to gripe about next week.
More adventures will pop up, right?
Yeah. Hopefully we'll be able to get our hands on some of those consoles or whatnot. Hopefully some start coming in or whatever. But yeah. Until next time. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Please drop some comments down below. Talk to us. We talk back. Yeah, we'll catch you guys next week. Deuces.
Peace.
I love you, me.